it's your boy Vega Bomber, and welcome to Vega Bomber Land? Nope, this is the mobile edition. Hey guys, sorry it's taken me a while to record another video. Just a lot of work stuff going on, and I moved, and just a lot of stuff. So what I found is that I just need to keep my camera actually in the car, because if I do that, then I'll be able to just go ahead and put the videos out like I promised to do. So here we go. You're going to see a lot more videos probably going forward, just me in the car talking to you. So with that said, let me just get into the topic. And the topic of this particular video is, well, it's now 1 month after Black Panther has been released, the film that I've been waiting for the longest time ever, since probably 92 when I first learned that Wesley Snipes had worked with Columbia Pictures and actually had a script and wanted to do Black Panther back then. So I've been waiting since then to try to see a Black Panther film, and we got it. So, well, by now, at the time of this recording, we all know that the movie has done super well. In fact, it's in the $1 billion club, and if I'm not mistaken, by now it's the top grossing singular superhero movie in the MCU universe of all times now, beating out Iron Man 3, which would have held that distinction. So the movie got the acclaim. People are seeing it in droves. People are seeing it more than once, which is good. It's the same thing they did for Avatar, the same thing they did for Titanic, the same thing they do for Star Wars movies every year, and the list goes on and on. But this one doesn't have a precedent other than it's a Marvel film, and it's done it. So what do I think about this film now that we're a month and a half out, from the hype? I know I said a month earlier, but it's probably more like a month and a half now. Was this movie really worth the hype? And, well, what did I really think of it now that I've had a chance to digest it? So for the record, you need to know this. I've seen the film 5 times now, and I could actually see it again. I could go see it again today, just to sit back and just to be immersed into that world, because it's exactly what you would want from a superhero movie. The fantasy, and this fantasy of seeing Wakanda, and Wakanda being its own character, was incredible. So I'll say this. After seeing the movie 5 times, does it live up to the hype? Is it really worth it? Absolutely. When this thing comes out on Blu-ray, when this video comes out on Blu-ray, yes, I will buy the Steelbox version. The best duded up version of the Blu-ray I will buy, with all the extras in it, because I really enjoyed the film that much, and it's been a long time for me to be able to say that about a big blockbuster film, that it did this for me. Now, at the same time, does that mean that the movie was perfect, that it had no flaws or anything like that at all? Emphatically, no. It did have flaws. It wasn't a perfect movie. There are some things that in the movie were kind of off. But, you let them slide, because if you're enjoying the totality of the experience, then it's a good thing. And for me, it was. In fact, let me just talk about what I've seen now. Now, this is a guy talking after seeing the film 5 times. So definitely a different perspective than maybe the first time I saw it. Which, sure, it's easy to get caught up in the hype and something I was excited about. But after seeing it this many times, I will tell you that, again, the fact that Disney was willing to give Ryan Coogler, a guy who had only made 2 films before this, $200 million to make a film and just let him go and let him do what he wanted to do and create his vision, I'm amazed by that. And for Ryan Coogler, wow, there's no way to do this movie without having some sort of controversy, right? Because in the world that we live in today, where people are screaming identity politics every 5 minutes about something, well, here's the thing. People always identify to something, and there's always a way to politicize anything that anybody identifies with. So let's just get over that whole identity politics thing. If black people want to go see a film that actually shows them as not being slaves or hoods or whatever else, what's wrong with that? So to me, seeing this film, I was extremely happy that Disney would be willing to do that. A company that's not black trusted this guy, who, again, Ryan Coogler is only 31 years old, who comes from Oakland, rough part of town in California, right, which is the same place that the Black Panther Party came from, was Oakland, to just trust him to give a film that would have enough fantasy, but then at the same time be grounded in enough reality where you go, yeah, Yeah, that makes sense. That's real. That's what I'm still blown away by. Now, the performances by the actors, yeah, I expected all of them to be great. Why wouldn't they be? This is a big moment, and they knew what this film meant. So to have a predominantly black cast in a movie directed by an African-American director, and then have all that help from some folks who have melanin in their skin, that is the first time you see it on a scale like this. So I love it when people go, "Oh, what about Blade? You forget about Blade?" Well, there's two things about Blade to me. Number one, I don't see him as a superhero. A vampire has to kill other people in order to keep himself going because he drinks human blood. So a vampire fighting other vampires, okay, but I don't see that as a classical superhero like Superman, Wonder Woman, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor. You get the idea. So to me, Blade really wasn't a superhero so much as he was a vampire who hunted other vampires. So they were both powerful. But either way, it's still not a predominantly black cast. There's, only a couple of black people in it at all. So while Blade was the first Marvel superhero-related property that came out, which is true, and you could even maybe argue for Spawn, which came out the year before it, but I don't see Spawn, a demon, as a superhero. I'm talking about in the classic sense, like Superman again, like Wonder Woman, like Green Lantern, right? This is the first time and on this scale that you see it. So, yeah, I think that's a great thing. And the fact that the movie is dominated says that there are a lot of people who are interested in this. And then really, what I really like is I like telling people that they're wrong when they're trying to tell you something that's, is fake, which is Hollywood saying that people won't support a movie with a predominantly black cast because I guess black people aren't interesting enough to go see it. Because again, no matter what happens, people see the race. Whether you want to see the race or not, people still see it, right? People still see color no matter what you want to say about that. And your thoughts about color is going to be whatever your experiences were growing up, and everybody's is different, which is the reason why we can't get along talking about that, I guess. So to that end, to see this, I was excited, and to see that he was able to do this, and then knowing that he's taking on a character. I mean, Superman doesn't have this kind of controversy around him, and neither does Captain America or Iron Man. But Black Panther, at a time that he was created by Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, he was created in 1966 because there weren't any African American superheroes that were even created or even had their own series or anything like that at all. So the idea that they did that in '66, which is in the height of the civil rights movement, this is great. That it was two white Jewish guys, if you will, who said, yeah, there's a spot here missing that we should be talking about just as well, because this would open it up and have us tell more stories. So I appreciate the fact that they did that. So Black Panther, by his own various nature, is going to be political from that perspective if you look at his origin. Now, there's politics in Black Panther because he's a king, and you can't get away from that. But nothing in the movie is trying to tell you that you must believe like this or you must believe like that. Instead, it just says, here's one guy's way of going about it, and here's how he meets his end, and here's another guy going about it, and here's how he meets his end. So that's a lot for a Marvel movie, and yet Ryan Coogler took that on. Again, third movie he did. Before that, he did Fruitvale Station, Forrest Whitaker project. He kind of helped them get that thing going in terms of the funding. And then, of course, everyone knows more of Creed, which that got Sylvester Stallone a nomination for Best Supporting Actor. And Stallone didn't even want to do this again, but because Coogler's script was so good, he was willing to do it. He didn't want to do like a Rocky 9 or whatever. So there's some clout coming into this. So Ryan Coogler, what we're witnessing with this film, and he could do it with any other film, I mean, a guy that's not afraid to take on something that could be very charged up one way or the other and kind of has a background in it, and still make it a Marvel movie and still make it fun and still make it have meaning to it, that's incredible. So for those who are not interested in Black Panther, or they thought they didn't like it at all, they think that it sucks, or they couldn't get past the identity politics and all that crap, I think you really missed out, because it really is a good film. Again, it's not perfect, but then again, name me one Marvel movie that's perfect. I'll wait. Of course, there isn't one. In fact, you don't have to just say Marvel. There's no perfect movie. Even the original trilogies and Star Wars, my favorite, still has flaws. But that's not the point. The point isn't about being perfect. The point is about being able to take over and help people escape and go somewhere different, and then people enjoying the ride as they do so. That's what it's about. So, to me, the answer, the question that I start off this video with, was Black Panther, or is Black Panther better than the hype that it received? After the hype's died down a little bit, here we are a month and a half out, and everybody's all hyped up now about the Infinity War. And the answer, family, friends, Vega Bomberlandians, is yes. And when it comes out on Blu-ray, if you didn't see it in the theater, I would tell you that you could buy it and you would enjoy the film. I really think you can, and I think you would. And I think if you just tune out all the other garbage that people are doing just to get clicks, to get people, because if you're the contrarian today, you're going to get a lot of attention just for being contrarian. And then the more vitriolic you can be about how you hate something, the more. And I get that, because I kind of feel that way about The Last Jedi, if I tell the truth. And I really didn't care for Force Awakens either. So I kind of get it when people do it. But when it comes to this movie, okay, there is some substance here, and it is tackling a very serious topic, and I think it does so well. You'll never make everyone happy, but at the same time, it kept it within the realm of Marvel, and I mean, what else is there to say? You know the performances are going to be good, because you got great actors: Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, and then a few surprises, by Letitia Wright as Shuri. I mean, it had a lot going for it. So, yes, I will say that the movie is way better than the hype. And it deserves that billion plus that it's getting in the box office. And you know what? I might just go see it again. Anyway, it's your boy Vega Bomber. And again, thank you guys for watching the video. Again, if you haven't already, consider subscribing so I can get more, and I promise to be more on top of this to get you more stuff. I have a lot of thoughts about these things. I just need to get them out there quicker and sooner. I think going mobile will do that. So go ahead, like, share, all the good stuff. And you know what? I'll meet you in the comments section. You tell me, have you seen the movie more than once? Have you seen Black Panther more than once? And if so, if you've seen it recently, after some of the hype's died down, what did you think? Did you think it was better than the hype, or equal to the hype, or less than the hype? I'll meet you in the comments section, and we'll talk about it. Anyway, it's your boy Vega Bomber, and I'm out. You! Drive, son. Drive the car.